Bontrager, welcome back to another 2 p.m. with the Trigger. Great to be back here with you. And I'm to make sure all my buttons are set here correctly for one moment. So stand by. Jumping from event to event is so much fun sometimes that you got to make sure everything is still working. There we go. I know we're set. Hey, great to be back with you today. And today we're going to get back into part 2 of our helping you build out your speeches, conversations, your presentations or talks, whatever you want to call them. And today we're going to get into how to design a dynamic speech. More and more, I'm calling them conversations or I'm calling them presentations because anyone can give a speech, I think. And people are not really interested in speeches anymore. They're interested in a dynamic interaction from the stage, whether it's the virtual stage, a hybrid stage, or the in-person stage. I think more and more people are looking for an engagement, an encounter, shall we say, an experience with the speaker. So I'm going to talk about how to do that today, how to design a dynamic presentation that will get people rolling, get people engaged with you. And if you have any questions along the way, drop them in the chat while we're going here, and we'll try to answer those questions as well. But to help do this, you need to be clear on what you are an expert in and build a presentation around that. If you're going to do a presentation that you really want to have it fly out of you and have it be dynamic, have it be that you almost can't help yourself but talk about it, and it flows out of you so naturally, it does feel like a conversation. It's not a very rote and stuck thing. Go with something that you are an expert in. Go with something that you know inside and out, whether it has to do with your business, whether it has to do with a hobby, whether it has to do with something you just love to play with. Talk on something you know as an expert and then build around that expertise of knowledge that you have. It doesn't mean you know how to do it all, but you have something. If you know about pottery and how to do clay pottery and create amazing artworks, you're an expert. If you have real good insights with that, you could do a whole presentation on how the creativity, the joy of working with that is such a powerful thing. And you can help people get into clay pottery. So think about what you're an expert in. Think about the things you know that are easy for you to speak on because it will make it so much more natural for you to get on stage and hit the mark. Pick a pain point that your audience or your clients need to face and overcome. When you give a dynamic talk, you don't want to just be the expert. You want to also relieve the pain they're struggling with. When I talk with people about social media, about marketing, about web design, about YouTube, I'm helping their pain point of I don't know how to do this, how to shine on camera. I don't know how to communicate through the camera lens. I don't know how to create a dynamic video that will capture people's attention. That's the pain point. So I come in and say, okay, I understand you're struggling with that. Let me help you A, B, C. And it really is that simple. If by finding the pain point, you are literally helping them, whether you're, again, live on stage or video, whatever you're doing through your way of doing a presentation, you're helping people and they will feel the relief and the pressure roll off as you lend them help. And you need to describe that pain point very clearly. You need to let them know you understand why this is a pain, why this is a struggle. You need to take the time to lay it out. One of my talks that I give on a regular basis is stutter to stage. And in fact, recently on some of my shorts on TikTok and Twitter and Facebook, we've been sharing some of those conversational pieces I give on stutter the stage. The pain point is stutterers are embarrassed. Stutterers are trapped with things in their head that they can't get out because their words won't flow naturally for them. It's excruciating difficult to overcome that embarrassment, that rising fear of everything I say is going to get all bumbled up. I understand that. I have personal expertise and experiences, but I also know how to help people by taking their brain and their thoughts and taking their mouth and help them come in balance and run at the right thread of speed and how to make it flow. So I know the pain. I need to explain that when I give that stutter the stage talk. But then I also get to give the ABCs of helping people find the solution to overcome that pain point. And that's the fun in public speaking. You're literally serving and helping people. How else do you design a dynamic speech? Create a talk to help equip them to solve the pain point, like I was just talking about. Don't give them half-cooked ideas. Don't give them half-baked ideas. Literally give them concrete things that you can solve. When I do my stutter conversation, I literally let them know, slow down. The biggest thing for stutterers is the speed is we want to get it out. We want to get it out. And we're literally tripping over the words in our head because our mouth and our tongue cannot keep up with it. Another pain point to fix for them is address the one that you know there are certain sounds as a stutterer that can trip you up. Learn how to get around those by having other word phrases so you don't hit those other phrases. I tell people that I cut and paste as I'm talking, as I'm presenting all the time. As I'm being interviewed on radio and TV podcasts, I will cut and paste and delete words and edit words as I'm talking because I can feel that trigger mechanism coming that I begin to stutter. Instead, I know other phrases that I can get around to insert that will help me not do that. Give very practical, concrete points to help people. How else do you do a dynamic speak and design this very intentionally? Use stories to illustrate the point, the pain point, the action points. Give them actual particular stories that you can say, we did this, and here was the result. Storytelling is one of the most powerful tools in all of the public speaking world. People relate to stories. People want to feel what you feel. They want you to understand their feelings. So when you share a story, you are bridging the gap. You are breaking the glass between you, the speaker, and the audience, and you're becoming one combined person with the emotional impact. Their stories may vary. Their experiences may vary. But when you get beyond the head and you get to the heart and you get to the emotions, that's where real transformation comes. People don't just want to think about transformation. They want to feel transformation. So give those stories. Give those stories of challenges. I can remember going way back, way back. I can remember in my particular school, we had to stand up and read the C. Dick, Jane Run books. I'm dating myself. That's not a thing in school anymore, I don't think. But you literally had to read, and there were these small little books, and it would be simple sentences of see Dick run, see Jane run, see Dick and Jane run. It was that simple. As a stutterer, I could not get it through see Dick run without going see and I'd get stuck on the D. And that's a pain point. I can tell that story. Now I can illustrate another story of how I've overcome that and gotten around that, and the D's don't trip me up. Same thing with introducing yourself. As a stutterer, I share openly, one of the worst things to do is to introduce myself to somebody else if they go first. I never knew that growing up, but that was the early trigger. So I tell stories of wanting to ask a girl out, and someone else would start the conversation first. And I would not be able to say my name. When they turned to me in a group of people and we're all introducing each other, and there's a great looking gal there, I could not say Richard Bontrager. Could not do it. It just came out bad. And I tell those stories in a very clear picture. Yeah, what I found was if I go first, if I extend my hand first and shake your hand first, if I say, hi, I'm Rich Bontrager, I don't stutter because I went first. Those are the stories that will help people to learn, to change, to grow as you give your speeches. Now, the end of the speech, you want to give clear call to action. You don't want to just give a speech and say, I gave you a bunch of information, and the crowd says, so what? You want them to literally know there's a challenge point. Get up out of their chairs, go move to action, go do something. When I was in church ministry, that was a regular part of what every pastor, every sermon is all about. The church is really good at having you give a call to action. Go forgive somebody. Go feed the hungry. Go whatever, right? The same thing is true with people that give great transformational speeches. You call people to action. What is it in your expertise that you do? What is it that you particularly do that you can challenge people, teach people, hit that pain point, and then have them move forward with the pain point? One of the things in podcasting and in the media world that I live in is people wanting to do a podcast. They're wanting to do a streaming content show. They ask me all the questions about what tool should I buy? What microphone should I buy? What light should I buy? They ask me every question except for, when do I start? And I tell them you can start without anything right now. You can do your first podcast with your phone. Just talking to the microphone, record a podcast, hit it, upload it, and you have yourself a podcast. It's that simple. My call to action is take your phone this week, make yourself a podcast, and post it. When you're at the end of your speech, give clear, the simple call to action pieces. They don't have to be big, grandiose statements or big mountains they need to climb up. In fact, don't give them those big mountains to go climb. At the end of your speech, give them something that they know they can hit a home run, they can achieve it. Because the final piece of creating a dynamic speech is leave them wanting more. If you have them go for the top of the peak and challenge them to go for the biggest thing they can go for, what happens if they don't reach the summit? What if they don't get over the hill? What if they don't meet their challenge? Then they're kind of stuck. You want your speech to land with that challenge, that information. They now have marching orders, but you also want to leave them knowing there's more to this. And that's where you get the clients. You get the referrals. That's where you have given a great step forward, but they're hungry for more and they see you as the expert and they grab your email. They come to the back of the room. They send you a message through whatever. By leaving them wanting more, you're taking people on an amazing journey and also telling them, just by your presentation, just by leaving some things hanging out there, you're letting them more. There's far more to be done here. Let's work together and make it happen. One way that I do that during my keynote speeches is that I'll actually mention and refer to clients I've worked with. I will illustrate some of the pain points of a client I've worked with. I'll talk about the pain point solutions we gave them at Rock the Stage Media. And then I'll also celebrate their successes and say, and they got here. And we've worked for them for another 6 months. It's showing the people that success continues to happen with ongoing coaching, with ongoing information, and your speech has far more value now because you've opened up the door for contact, relation, ongoing coaching services, whatever it is that you have. Creating a dynamic speech. It's lots of fun to do it. But as I said at the beginning of our 2 p.m. today, the key really is to make this a conversation. Make this something they feel that you're not shouting at them. You're not commanding them. You're having a conversation that brings them to the point that they want to get by overcoming that pain point. One way that we're helping you at Rock the Stage to do that is that we have a new open mic event going on. Open mic will be appearing tonight. It's going to be on Meetup, and we are going to have a great time this evening, beginning to help people practice doing little talks. This is going to be a way that you can actually begin with a 10-minute mini talk. You're going to get great feedback. You're going to get some limited coaching from me on how you can improve that little mini talk. And we're going to do this every other week. So if you're looking to build your speaking skills on how to get better talks, better discussions, how to really rock that stage, join us tonight at 6 p.m. I just put the link into the chat where you can come join us and join Open Mic. Tonight's going to be a meet and greet. It's going to be a welcome. I'm going to highlight some of the plans we have for this new group. It's brand new. Get in on the ground level and begin to learn more ways of how to build that dynamic, amazing presentation that you would like to build. As always, you can contact me, Rich at richbontrager.net. That's a great way to go right to my email, directly to me. If you have questions, if you need some coaching, if you want to learn how to improve, or if you have a talk that you need the massage to elevate, I'd love to talk to you, review some of your material, and see how we can elevate you and your speaking abilities, or simply go to rockthestagemedia.com. Would love to help you out that way. Hey, that's going to do it for today for our 2 p.m. with the trigger. I'll be back tomorrow, and I'm going to give you more tips again on how to keep elevating your speaking from the beginning. We're going all the way back to the beginning of what it takes to really, really get things going. Thank you, Aaron, for cheering on about open mic. Yes, it is going to be a lot of fun. So please come join us tonight. I will see you then at 6 p.m. Eastern time on Meetup. Until tomorrow, I'm the Trigger, Rich Bontrager. Have a great day and keep rocking the stage. We'll see you tomorrow.